The news at noon starts right now.
One suspect still on the run as police continue to try to make some sense out of a chaotic scene after a fight broke out inside a Southside bar, then spilled outside.
According to police, at least 5 people were involved in a fight inside the River City Saloon on Southwest Military Drive around 2 this morning. Eventually, a 6th person pulled out a gun and started firing at the ground. 2 victims were hit with bullet fragments. 1 person fell, breaking their ankle. Another person reported someone stole from them amid the chaos. Police arrested 3 people at the scene. Officers believe a 4th suspect was involved, but they have not found that person as of yet. The search continues.
A man and a woman were shot during domestic dispute on the west side early this morning. San Antonio police say they detained at least 1 person. Tiffany Huertas with the latest details.
While residents in this West Side community were sleeping, San Antonio police were investigating a shooting. It happened around 4:30 a.m. in the 200 block of Arizona Street. Yellow tape surrounded the area where police say 2 people were shot. Police say a 36-year-old man was shot in the legs and stomach, and a 58-year-old woman was shot in the shoulder.
The man and woman were transported to University Hospital. Police say at a different location, 2 others were detained.
Investigators say a domestic dispute led up to the shooting. Police say the suspect is a 17-year-old male. It is unclear exactly what the argument was about. Police say both people shot are in stable condition. Reporting from the West Side, Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
Police are trying to track down at least 1 person after a man was shot at while he was driving on the northeast side overnight. It happened just before 1 a.m. along I-35 between Walsham and Eisenhower. San Antonio police were originally called out to investigate a crash, but when they got to the scene, they found a man with several gunshot wounds. Police say he was able to tell them that a driver pulled up to him on I-35 and someone inside that vehicle started shooting at him. The victim eventually crashed as he tried to get away from the suspect. He was taken to the hospital. No one else was hurt.
And San Antonio police want to talk to this man. Police accuse him of setting a cell phone tower on fire. It happened last month on Hunt Lane on the city's west side. We're told the suspect used some sort of fuel to start the fire at the cell tower. He was seen on surveillance video starting it. Call Crime Stoppers if you have any information about this. The number is 210-224-STOP.
An Italian restaurant in Southtown was ordered to go through a re-inspection earlier this year after a yellow buildup and black sludge were found inside its ice machine. La Fogaccia Italian Grill, located in the 800 block of South Alamo Street, also cited during the April inspection after a roach was seen crawling on a wall and rodent droppings were found near a sink. According to Metropolitan Health records, a large dying rat also observed on a glue trap in a storage room. The restaurant scored an 81 this week, which is a B on Metro Health scale. You can find more restaurant scores right now on KSAT.com.
President Biden has an uphill battle with 2 priorities on his agenda: voting rights and infrastructure. And one of the major challenges he faces is not from Republicans. It's from a senator in his own party. ABC's Alex Prochet has more on the growing tension between some Democrats and West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin.
After weeks of pushing bipartisan negotiations with Republicans, President Biden's now having to mediate differences within his own party. West Virginia Democratic Senator Joe Manchin continues to flex the power he's had in a 50-50 Senate to limit the legislative aspirations of the Biden administration and his fellow Democrats. That includes the For the People Voting Rights Act, which would set a federal standard for early voting, give universal access to mail-in voting, and make Election Day a national holiday. Manchin wrote in an op-ed over the weekend expressing his strong opposition to the bill, even as GOP-led legislatures across the country have passed laws limiting voting rights. Manchin said this on Fox News.
I think it's a wrong piece of legislation to bring our country together and unite our country, and I'm not supporting that because I think it would divide us further. I think there's a lot of great things I agree in that piece of legislation, but there's an awful lot of things that basically don't pertain directly to voting.
Progressive Democrats in the House blasted Manchin. Representative Mondaire Jones writing Manchin's op-ed might as well be titled, "Why I'll Vote to Preserve Jim Crow." Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib tweeted, 389 bills introduced in 48 states to prevent Americans from voting. 14 of them have already passed. If this isn't enough for Senator Joe Manchin to support the For the People Act, then he's the one being partisan. Manchin also has concerns about the price tag and elements of Biden's infrastructure plan and continues to oppose changes to the Senate filibuster rule that requires 60 votes for most bills, despite pleas from some in his own party. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has promised to bring the For the People Act to the Senate floor for a vote this month.
Manchin does support a narrower voting bill, the John Lewis Act, and tomorrow he'll meet with civil rights leaders, including the head of the NAACP, to discuss voting rights. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.
Back here at home, from schools to churches, this week the city hosting more COVID-19 vaccine pop-up clinics around town. One of the sites was the Redeeming Grace Baptist Church in the 4500 block of North Foster Road. Staff says they have about 100 Pfizer vaccines available. The site opened at 10 o'clock this morning. They'll stay open until 5 this evening.
There's no registration required. It's a walk-in and walk-out. You'll be in and out in approximately 20 minutes. As they come in, they'll be seated at one of the tables, get the vaccine, and then sit back for about 15 minutes just to make sure they have no reactions.
Other locations include the Miguel Menchaca Early Childhood Center and Southside Baptist Church. If you'd like a complete list of the sites, you can go to our website, KSAT.com.
After a soggy couple of weeks, the pattern changes, and now we're looking at drier weather, but some heat heads our way. We'll talk about that forecast coming up.
The Cowboys just about a month and a half away from training camp, but this week they're going to find out what they need to get down as a team and individuals. Coming up in sports.
A program breathing new life into historic homes in the Alamo City. How one couple is feeling after seeing that their newly renovated house after the break. A San Antonio family that has lived in a home for several generations was able to get help renovating it thanks to a new program. The 100-year-old home located just southwest of downtown. It has been in Humberto and Laura Martinez's family since the Great Depression. The couple says their home got a complete makeover after they applied for and were accepted to take part in the city's Shotgun House pilot project.
Totally different. Totally different. They kept the ceilings and everything, but oh my gosh, it's like a brand new home.
I'm speechless right now. I'm speechless because I'm so excited.
This is the first home renovation to be completed under the Shotgun House pilot program. The project aims to renovate and update homes that are at least 100 years old as a way to provide affordable and sustainable housing. To apply, just contact Councilwoman Shirley Gonzalez's office or call 311.
And as spring showers start to move out and the heat of the summer starts to move in, it's time for all of us to get our homes prepared for a new season. In today's Ask Angie segment, RJ Marquez has some things to keep in mind.
Early summer is a great time to check a few things off of the list and get your home back in its best working order. Sometimes just deciding where to start can be the hardest part.
Just like our wardrobes, our home can use a summer refresh too. Start with some simple maintenance projects. Before it gets too hot outside, think about getting that AC unit inspected and make sure to have the filters changed too.
It's better to take the time now to address any hidden issues that may affect how well your air conditioner functions, rather than waiting until you're deep within the heat of the later summer months. When it comes to AC, it's always worth investing in preventative maintenance so you don't get stuck dealing with emergency repairs. Next up, your gutters.
With all the spring rain, your gutters have probably been working overtime. Give them some TLC. First, start with a good cleaning. Then, look for areas of sagging to make sure that there's no damage. Finally, be sure to check those downspouts for clogs and get it all straight before the summer season.
Next, head inside and start tackling the areas of your home that need a visual refresh. Swap out the throw pillows on your chairs and couches for warmer colored ones with lighter fabrics, or consider a complete room makeover to really brighten up the space. And don't forget an overall deep clean. Give all your surfaces, shelves, and decor a thorough wipe down and consider rearranging some things to provide a new look and feel to your space.
After the winter, with salt tracking in and the spring rains tracking mud in, your carpets are probably in need of a good cleaning. This is a great job to bring in a pro and get the job done before the start of the summer season.
RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
We actually needed a little salt outside
that
this
whole
winter.
week in February, huh?
Not often we do, but we did.
Oh, what a year.
That's a memory.
I feel like we keep saying that, but what a year. And we've had all this rainfall lately. Now things are starting to change a little bit. We're headed into more of a summer-like pattern. The aquifer is still rising, though, up a tenth of a foot today to 671.3. That's a great number. And the pollen count, molds are still high, 3,750, but on their way down. Grass and pigweed are low. We'll look ahead to some hot temperatures coming up.
Never miss a story. Watch live or when you want. San Antonio's latest news and weather. Streaming free on KSAT TV.
So this morning we were talking about how the rain's gone, but now we have heat index, we have mold, migraines, and mosquitoes.
You know, you can't win. You just can't win.
We're going to try to stay positive.
That's why we're so tough in Texas.
That's right. We go through all of it.
We can handle this.
Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. The rainfall has been plentiful. We know that for sure, and that's why we have the mosquitoes and the mold and all that fun stuff. But let's look at the numbers over the last 30 days. So this is from NOAA, but it estimates how much rainfall. That's actually not an estimate. These are actual numbers of how much rainfall we've received over the last 30 days. And you can see basically the eastern half of Texas has just been cashing in here on the rainfall. Here in San Antonio over the last 30 days, about 5-6 inches or so. You get towards the coast, you're talking about 20 inches in some cases. So huge numbers. Even West Texas got in on some of it. And that's the reason that the aquifer has gone up. So there are positives there. We can always use the rain. Not seeing a lot of it today. We had a few showers earlier. Still cloudy, though. We're having a hard time breaking through these clouds. It will happen, but it may take another hour or so. Temperature 81 degrees, cloudy skies, southerly winds at 13. And by the way, as long as we have these clouds, that'll keep temperatures in check, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Looking at the satellite picture, you can see the clouds have been fairly thick this morning, stretching from San Antonio up to Kerrville, Uvalde, Hondo, but starting to see some of those breaks. And once the sun pops out, temperature will race upwards. Looking at the big picture here, little area of low pressure right there. There's a nice complex of showers and storms. This is headed towards East Texas. It will miss us to the north. And so we're not going to get any rain out of that, but we will watch what develops out in West Texas this afternoon. There's a small chance that we could get a little complex moving in here later tonight into tomorrow morning. That chance, I think, is fairly low, but we do need to point it out. The severe weather risk today, best chance will be across northeast Texas, where that area of storms is moving into a pretty nice atmosphere to get some stronger storms around Tyler and Texarkana. Plenty of moisture to work with, too. These dew points are going to stay elevated. We got a dew point of 75. That's fairly miserable. I mean, if I'm being honest here. And it's because we have so much moisture in the soil, and that's going to keep dew points high over the next several days. So our concern shifts from rainfall to heat issues. Temperatures will only be in the 90s, so low 90s today, but that will translate to a heat index near 100. So therein lies the problem. Temperatures right now at 81 at the airport, 84 Pleasanton, but we're up to 88 in Cotulla where the sun is out, 90 in Laredo. And when you factor in that humidity, feels like 103 in Laredo, feels like 99 in Cotulla, already feels like 100 in Kennedy and Gonzales. And I think this trend is going to be with us most of the week. The forecast heat index today shows 102 for San Antonio. We may not get there. I think the cloud cover is going to help us out a little bit, but it will still feel very hot today. And those heat indices will jump into the 100s down to the south and west. Now, I mentioned that chance for some storms tonight. This is around 5 o'clock. Clears out some. But you see that complex of storms coming through. Maybe some of the northern counties tomorrow morning. We'll watch for that. And that could lead to a few showers even across the far eastern counties tomorrow afternoon. Here in San Antonio, I think rain chances are probably less than 20%. But we'll keep an eye on it. Forecast for today. Up around 91 for a high once these clouds eventually clear out. Southeasterly winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then tomorrow 92 Wednesday, 93 Thursday, 93 Friday. High pressure starts to build in. It's more of a typical summertime pattern. We may get a few more showers and storms though developing by Sunday, guys.
Looks like a great week to dry out. Thank you.
Yep. A stunner for Mavs fans coming up in sports. And the Cowboys are holding another mini camp. What are they trying to get out of this one? One NBA playoff first-round matchup finishing. A second-round matchup just getting started yesterday. It was the Mavs and the Clippers in L.A. for a Game 7. Dallas was down 8 to start the second half. They put on a 19-6 run to take an 81-76 lead with little under 7 minutes to play in the third. Luka Doncic led Dallas with 46, 14, and 7. But after that, the Clippers ran the Mavs right out of the gym. Kawhi Leonard had a big night with that dunk, and then Marcus Morris knocks down a pair of threes, and L.A. is on a 12-0 run. They finished the third quarter on a 24-4 run and never looked back. And as odd as it sounds, the Clippers won at home 126-111. It was the first time in NBA history that the road team won the first 6 games of a playoff series. The Clippers are in the 5th team in league history to lose the first 2 games at home and then come back and win a playoff series. All right, so here's your matchups now. So you got the Jazz and the Clippers, Game 1 coming up tomorrow night, and the Nuggets and Suns. Game 1 of that series starts tonight. In the Eastern Conference, Hawks and 76ers, Game 1. Trae Young and the Hawks had the Sixers beat down from the start. Hawks were up 15 after 1. Start the second on an 11-0 run. They were up 53-27. But the Sixers, led by Joel Embiid's 39, got Philly within 3 with a minute to play, but that's as close as they would get. Young finished with 35, 10 assists. Hawks take Game 1 and home court advantage with the 128-124 victory. So here's a look at the Eastern Conference matchup. There's that series now 1-0 Hawks over the 76ers, and you got the Bucks and the Nets. Game 1 will be tonight.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
Big week for NFL players. Teams will be hosting mandatory mini camps. One thing that'll happen, the teams are going to let the players know what's expected of them when training camps open up next month. For the first, will be defending Super Bowl champs, 7-time champion Tom Brady returning starting today. The Dallas Cowboys, along with 4 other teams, will kick off their mandatory mini camps tomorrow after 2 sessions of organized team activities. For some, this will be a first, even though they are second-year players, since the COVID-19 pandemic erased any offseason workouts last year, including training camps. Such is the case for wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, who set a rookie record for the Cowboys with 74 catches that resulted in 935 yards and 5 TDs. And to think he did that without an offseason, without quarterback Dak Prescott for most of last year.
Just to have all the guys here and, you know, having that family-oriented, I guess, you know, organization, and we're trying to build something here, and the only way to start is in the offseason, and OTAs was a great start.
You see that bracelet he had on his hand? May not notice that. CD is wearing that bracelet that reads, "Get your popcorn ready." Does that sound familiar? This saying made famous by former Cowboy wide receiver Terrell Owens. Hey, the Houston Texans don't kick off their mandatory minicamp until 1 week from tomorrow. And after a 4-12 finish and hiring of a new head coach and general manager, there's plenty of work to do, especially at quarterback. With Deshaun Watson demanding a trade and facing 22 civil lawsuits, he's not expected to even show up. So far, he has missed all of the organized team activities, but minicamps are mandatory. In other words, that's where the Texans can begin fining Watson. In his absence, most of the focus has been on Tyrod Taylor being the starter on opening day while helping bring along first draft pick Davis Mills from Stanford.
He's been doing a good job. Of course, all 3 quarterbacks, myself, Jeff Driscoll, and Davis, we're all learning the system for the first time. So I think each and every day, guys are doing a good job of just keeping the communication open and pushing each other on the field.
And over the weekend, San Antonio FC earned another point in USL competition in their first game of the 3-game road trip at Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, trailing 1-0 late in the second half. Justin Dillon got San Antonio on the board off the free kick, salvaging a 1-1 tie. It was Dillon's first game of the season, and pretty good way to start it, making your debut with a team that's scoring game-saving goal.
I think the team fought a lot in the game, and we definitely deserved something from it. So obviously being out 6 weeks, I couldn't have asked for anything more than to come on and help the team get a well-deserved point.
Yeah, Justin came up big for us. You know, all the players that entered the game, you know, we thought, you know, brought energy. We created some opportunities and, you know, well-deserved 1 point.
All right, want to congratulate former St. Mary's University star Ollie Wright. He has made his first professional start with San Antonio FC. He and the rest of the team will have a chance to play and hear the Toyota Field crowd coming this weekend, or coming up in next month. SAFC announced that they're going to be allowing full capacity at home games starting on July 3rd. Can't wait for that. Here's your schedule for the next game, though. They're at Las Vegas Lights FC. That's Friday at 9:30. And the USA and Mexico went to extra time and still couldn't get a winner. They tied 2-2. So there you go. A lot of soccer.
A lot of soccer. It's that time of the year.
Yep.
Okay, cruise lines, they're working on their big comeback too as the first ship prepares to set sail in a few weeks. Their plans involve safety precautions, what this means for travelers who are ready to book their next trip.
And the first new Alzheimer's treatment in nearly 20 years was just approved by the FDA. What makes this drug different? Still ahead.
New today at 5, a warning if you eat food off the grill. One woman's steak dinner came with a side of metal. Ew. She swallowed a wire that had come loose from a bristle brush used to clean the grill. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moore shares her story and what you need to know today at 5. According to the Food and Drug Administration, they have approved a new drug to treat Alzheimer's disease. Biogen's medication is called aducanumab. It is for cognitive impairment associated with the early stages of Alzheimer's. In November, all 10 members of the Peripheral and Central Nervous System Drugs Advisory Committee voted that there is not enough evidence to show the drug is effective. The Food and Drug Administration, though, is not required to follow that advice. This is the only FDA-backed drug that treats the underlying disease rather than to manage the symptoms. It'll take several months for the drug to become available.
You'll probably see gas prices rise since crude oil prices hit $70 a barrel. That's the first time they have crossed that threshold in nearly 3 years. It's $110 higher than last year's record low. Remember, prices dipped into negative territory as producers struggle to store their excess supplies. The rebound is being driven by increased demand as the pandemic winds down and people travel more. But for you, that means higher prices at the pump. The national average per gallon of gas is $3.05. That's over $1 more than last year at this time.
Senate Democrats bracing for political trouble. The majority leader, Chuck Schumer, warning that June will test their resolve. Senators will be returning to the Capitol today and begin consideration on infrastructure, voting rights, and other hot-button issues. Democrats are under pressure to make good on their campaign promises and fed up with Republicans preventing the law's passage. Some senators are even wanting to change some of the rules, including getting rid of the filibuster powers.
The Supreme Court announced today that it will not take up a case about the Military Selective Service Act. That's the law that requires men, but not women, to register for the draft when they turn 18. The case was brought to the High Court, saying the law was discriminatory towards women. The court said in its official statement that it will not cover the act due to the court's, quote, long-standing difference to Congress on matters of national defense and military affairs.
A study finding that systemic racism may actually contribute to minorities being at higher risk of specific mental health problems.
ABC's Faith Abube explains for us.
From education to medicine to law, systemic racism in the U.S. disproportionately impacts people of color. A study by the American Psychiatric Association connects systemic racism to increased risk of mental health problems, specifically psychosis, a disease that can result in hearing voices, having false beliefs, and other symptoms. A look at 3 specific areas: disparities in neighborhoods, exposure to trauma and stress, and complications around pregnancy, show that racial minorities have less access to health, healthy food, education, and housing, which increases stress, thus chances of psychosis. What's more, rates of trauma and adversity, also known to be associated with psychosis, are higher in racial minority groups compared to their white counterparts. Pregnancy-related complications are also associated with increased risk of psychosis, with pregnancy-related complications being far more likely for Black women compared to white women. The study's authors say the driver behind all of these social inequities, such as trauma, stress, and other complications that are associated with psychosis, is racism, not race. With this Medical Minute, I'm Faith Abube, ABC News.
Nearly half of eligible Americans are now fully vaccinated, but the pace is slowing down, with the nation averaging just over 1 million doses per day. That's down from 3.3 million that were given in April. Less than 1 million doses of the vaccine are being administered a day now, according to the CDC. That's down about 70% from the peak in April when the country was averaging about 3.3. The slowdown could put the president's July 4th vaccine goal in jeopardy. The deadline is set for 70% of adults to be at least partially vaccinated.
We're going to end this outbreak, and the vehicle to ending it is vaccination.
Right now, about 63% have gotten at least one dose, and 300 million vaccine doses have been administered in total.
Outside with live game, I mean, come on, we knew this was coming after all that rain in May and the first part of June. The heat comes and that brings the humidity. I mean, so deal with it. We'll be all right.
We'll make it through. We'll make it through. Right now, we're sitting in the 80s. It's still fairly cloudy, so that's helping us with temperatures so far. Want to show you the aquifer real quick. We're keeping tabs on it because it has jumped up significantly, now up to 671.3. We're in very good shape as we head into the summer. That's what you would hope for to get sort of a surplus, because we know that the aquifer will begin to decline once we get into the hotter months. There's a look at the cloud cover, and yeah, we're starting to see some breaks here and there. Not a lot over San Antonio at the moment, but I think within the next couple of hours we'll start to see that. And the sun will pop out and temperatures will jump up. But in the meantime, cloud cover is helping us with the temperatures, keeping them from just really jumping up into the upper 80s and 90s. Still in the 70s in a few spots. Comfort, Bernie Stage, 77, 82, Helotes, 85, Stinson, 85, in Pleasanton, and 82 right now in New Braunfels. As we zoom out, 89 Gonzales, closing in on 90 there in Kennedy. And with that humidity, it's going to feel a lot warmer than those air temperatures. 91 the expected high. We'll go partly cloudy this afternoon. Southeasterly winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. There is a chance for a shower or two tonight. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a few minutes. Guys.
Thank you, Justin. Every weekend, the box office is looking a little bit more like its old self as big movies bring audiences back to the theater. We're going to take a look at this weekend's top 5 films coming up in Spotlight.
And more people are headed back to the office after working from home during the pandemic, and that could be stressful for pets. Still ahead, steps pet owners can take to ease our furry friends into the new routine.
The cruise ship industry is ready to dive back in. Ships are ready to set sail in the next few weeks. And one cruise line is already reversing course on requiring vaccinations for its passengers.
Hello, everyone. This is your daily tech and business briefing from Cheddar News. Paramount Plus's new ad-supported plan is launching today, and it only costs $5 a month. The new plan replaces an older $6 plan that was carried over when the service rebranded from CBS All Access. Now it's half the price of the premium plan and is missing news coverage from CBS, some sports content, and support for offline downloads. Meanwhile, Walmart has announced they're going to be closing all their stores on Thanksgiving, this for the second year in a row. The retail giant closing their stores to thank their employees for their work during the pandemic. Walmart has not yet announced what the store hours will be on the day after on Black Friday, but will do so at a later date. And SpaceX launched a Falcon 9 rocket early Sunday morning, this to send a SiriusXM-8 radio satellite into orbit. The launch was SpaceX's 18th launch of the year and its second just in the last 5 days. The satellite will replay entertainment programming to receivers in cars, boats, homes, and offices. And that's your Cheddar News Business and Tech Update. I'm Baker Machado, coming to you from Cheddar Studios in Lower Manhattan.
As the cruise industry reboots, companies are trying to finalize their plans to navigate passengers safely amid the pandemic. As CNN's Natasha Chen reports, the cruise industry is entering uncharted waters when it comes to the coronavirus.
The cruise industry is getting ready to set sail once again, but a political storm brewing on land, one between Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and the Centers for Disease Control, suggests it will be anything but smooth sailing. Right now, most cruise lines are advertising new summer sailings with vaccination requirements. But Royal Caribbean abruptly changed course on Friday. Only its ships departing from Seattle and the Bahamas on or before August 1st will require passengers 16 and older to be vaccinated, but no vaccination requirements for its sailings from Texas or Florida. Florida, where businesses can be fined for requiring customers to show proof of vaccination.
I was surprised by the blink because I think they're on the better side of it, and I think they're better off staying on Team CDC rather than Team DeSantis.
Michael Winkleman, a cruise industry expert and maritime lawyer in Miami, says the situation on cruise ships is unique, and the CDC is trying to keep people safe.
There appear to be a waiting pattern here.
Last year, a number of cruise ships remained unable to dock when coronavirus spread through tight quarters. After the CDC issued a no-sail order, ships sat idle for 15 months. Now the CDC has laid out a framework to get them back in motion. Either have trial sailings with volunteers before opening up to paid passengers, or abide by certain restrictions with the most latitude on ships where at least 95% of passengers and crew are vaccinated. DeSantis has sued the CDC over this, with no end of the legal battle in sight.
But just make no mistake about this. Had we not done what we did, and I think a lot of those cruise lines would admit this, had we not done what we did by suing, you would not be talking about sailing right now. There's not been a single elected official in this country who's done more to liberate the cruise lines from a bureaucracy that is totally out of touch.
In my opinion, this has nothing to do with helping business. It has nothing to do with keeping people safe. It has to do with him playing to a very small but vocal base of his supporters in an effort to win in 2024.
Winkleman says DeSantis won't likely win this lawsuit, a sentiment echoed by a Miami Herald op-ed saying the cruise industry wants to go back to work. The CDC isn't the issue here. The badly conceived vaccine passport law is. The politicking and rule changes have left passengers confused, but this travel agent who specializes in cruises says most people hoping to get on a cruise soon are already vaccinated or planning to be before they board.
I think people are just so excited. They didn't get to cruise last summer. They didn't get to cruise this winter that they are willing to, whatever the cruise line needs me to do, I will do it because I want to get on that ship.
That was CNN's Natasha Chen reporting for us. The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, is the new box office champion. The third film about paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren opened with $24 million in ticket sales. A Quiet Place Part 2, the weekend runner-up, $19.5 million for a 10-day domestic total of $89 million. Cruella made off with $11.2 million, falling to third place in the second weekend out. And the animated adventure Spirit Untamed debut in fourth place with $6.2 million. And Raya, the Last Dragon, brought in $1.3 million in its 14th straight weekend in the top 5.
Looking outside with live cam, it's not raining. That's all you need to know.
It is not, but it is muggy. It's still cloudy in that picture. We're waiting for these clouds to break up and for temperatures to shoot up a little bit. But so far, still in the low 80s, 81 so far today, 77 the low this morning. The record is 103 set back in 1989, which was a hot year. 58, the record low set back in 1946. Pretty quiet forecast going forward. We'll take a look at the 7-day coming up.
You like this weather?
I do. Yeah. Because I remember back in February when I was going, ooh, can't wait till it gets a little warmer.
Oh, yeah,
and here it is.
February.
I love this weather. I don't even care if the sun's not out.
Well, it doesn't feel so bad right now. I do think later this week, though, the heat really does crank up. And then with all this humidity in place, it's not going to feel all that nice. But we're thankful for the rain that we did receive over the last several weeks. Let's take a look at the time lapse right now, and I'll show you that the clouds still hanging on. They've been here since this morning, and they were rather thick. Now we're starting to see a couple breaks here and there, but technically cloudy at the airport. 81 degrees. Dew point way up there at 75. I mean, rarely do we get dew points this high this time of day, but the air is just so thick with humidity. The soils are saturated, so these dew points are going to stay elevated most of the week. That's going to lead to some pretty significant heat indices as we go forward in time. Looking at the satellite picture, you can see the clouds are trying to break up. It's been a slow process, but we're seeing some breaks here and there. Certainly seeing some sun as you get out towards Gonzales. Even places like Lavernia, you're probably starting to see a little bit of blue showing through. Most of Bexar County, though, still underneath the deck of clouds. 81 degrees at the airport, 82 Randolph, 82 New Braunfels, 85 Castroville. You're at 86 in Pleasanton. And then where the sun is really starting to pop out, closing in on 90 degrees now. 88 Cotulla, 90 in Laredo. It's sunny there. 88 in Del Rio with the full sun now there as well. Humidity tracker shows dew points are way up there. We're talking mid-70s. This puts us in the oppressive category. Beeville at 81, that number is probably not correct. It always runs a little bit high there, but mid-70s for them too. And it's just humid. That's the bottom line. And so it makes it feel so much hotter outside. This is the current heat index, 101 Gonzales, 100 in Kennedy. We're going to see lots of triple digits. San Antonio points south for that feels like temperature. So even if the air temperature is in the low 90s, it can be a little bit deceiving. Here's what we're thinking for the heat index most of this week with high temperatures right there, 91, 92, or 93. The heat index is going to be somewhere right around 100 each and every day. So just a heads up as we're starting to get into some of that dangerous territory there with this heat. New severe thunderstorm watch box out ahead of our complex of storms that we've been watching most of the morning up around Dallas that extends down towards Waco. There's severe thunderstorm warnings. There's going to be some strong wind with this area of storms. It moves towards Tyler. It's pretty much through Waco, but that'll be affecting East Texas. And if you're heading up I-35, it's a little wet up towards the Metroplex. That stays north of us. And here's the forecast going forward as we look at the upper level winds. There is our heat high. We know what that means. That means quiet weather, it means hot weather. Sticks around for a couple of days, and then by the weekend, it tries to push west. That may open up the door for some more chances, small chances for rain by Sunday. But in the meantime, it really does have control of our weather, and that's going to keep things pretty quiet. Look for clouds to try to clear out by 5 o'clock, 91, 89, 7 o'clock. We're down to 84 at 10 o'clock. Southeasterly winds 10 to 15. There is an outside chance of a shower tonight. I do want to point that out. And even into tomorrow morning, we'll have to watch what goes on across West Texas. If we can get a cluster of storms together, some of that energy may make it down into our area. Otherwise, it's a quiet forecast. 92 Tuesday, 92 Wednesday, 93 Thursday, 93 Friday. And there's our 20% chance of rain that we've put in on Sunday. We'll be right back.
Americans aren't the only ones feeling anxiety as they head back to offices post-quarantine.
Our pets at home might be suffering from uneasiness with not having owners around all day anymore. Experts say you might even be seeing your pet act out.
ABC's Zareen Shaw spoke to a veterinarian who has some tips on how to make sure your pet has an easy transition.
We're like attached at the hip.
Marisa Cruz-Tillery's family and their pet Snoodle, Baby, have become closer this past year.
She is the one that has enjoyed the pandemic the most out of all of us at home.
And like millions of other pet owners, Marisa fears Baby won't have an easy time adjusting when she's back in the office full time.
I kind of don't want her to revert back to those old habits of, like chewing on things. I don't want her to be in distress.
Veterinarian Dan Thomasy says separation anxiety can have a big impact on a pet.
If that routine is changed or altered, they can feel that.
Behavioral changes are a sign of stress in pets.
And a lot of them can be subtle, where pets that are yawning, lip smacking, those are signs of anxiety. And then more obvious ones, shaking, shivering, pacing, panting. They can have urinary issues. They can pee and poop out of the litter box. Those are all things that can manifest that emotional stress into more of a physical thing.
That's what happened with Lucy when her owner, Jessica Barkin, went back to work.
She bit through cardboard that I had out. She had put her little cat toy in the water and ruined her water. She also refused to eat unless I was home watching her. So I noticed her breakfast wasn't eaten a lot in the beginning. They're like us. They have these emotions. They get attached.
Dr. Thomasy says there are steps pet owners can take to ease our furry friends into the new routine.
Start giving them some time to get used to going longer between walks. Even though you're home working, give them 4 to 6 hours instead of the 2 hours. Start leaving your house for a period of time, go out for an hour or two, and slowly increase that time rather than going to that full 8 to 10 hours of you being out. Some pets will actually know triggers of you preparing to leave. So putting your coat on, jingling your keys, that can sometimes stop them from anticipating you leaving and help reduce any signs of separation anxiety.
Some anxiety symptoms are minor, but if your pet is showing extreme signs that result in physical pain, Talk to your vet. Zoreen Shah and Miles Davis Shah, ABC News Los Angeles.
Got to take care of the pets.
One of my favorite cartoons was how the pets were complaining that everybody was staying at home and they were having to babysit the adults, the humans.
That's very good.
They might want a break from us all.
Yeah, y'all go back to work. I was enjoying the home by myself. Speaking of enjoying food and
Yes. And Ursula, oh my gosh, this is right up your alley. It's a taste of New Orleans right here in the Alamo City.
Yep, NOLA Bayou Bites. And oh, everything is just bite-sized and yummy here. April Washington is with us today. And hey, deep fried, anything it is, right?
That's the way to go with it. If you can deep fry it, you can eat it. It's good.
Okay. And bread pudding, you said growing up, you always liked kind of the crunchy edges.
Yes, I didn't like it unless I can have a corner of it. Because, you know, in the middle, it's kind of wet and kind of yucky and soft and stuff. So I'm a crunchy person. So what we did to make it ours on the food truck, we made it into a ball. So it's pineapples, pecans, and cranberries. And we rolled it up, deep fried it, and they are crunchy and delicious.
And we are just minutes away from Mike Osterhage tasting those.
Yes, indeed. Jump over the table and grab those. So.
And Jen is live over at Pearsall Park. Hey, Jen.
Yes, over here on the southwest side. Let me tell you, you need to be here. You want to cool off this week. I have Sophia and Jacob. What's your favorite part about being out here?
Playing with my brother.
Oh, that's such a sweet answer. What about you, cutie?
I like to play with my Trisha's ball.
Okay, well, y'all go have fun for me. I might even get in at the end of this live shot coming up. Back to you guys.
Oh, well, they're cooling off, but looking hot this summer doesn't have to be just because you're sweating it out in the Texas summer heat. Leighton W. from Leighton W. Couture is here with some stylish summer styles.
A lot more.